People think relationships fall apart from shouting, arguments, or big betrayals. But mine ended because of one quiet sentence. A sentence he forgot he said. A sentence that didn't match the story he fed me later. And that tiny slip, that careless moment, was the crack that split open the truth he thought I'd never find. It started on a rainy evening. I was cleaning the kitchen while my husband, Caleb, talked on the phone in the living room. His tone was soft, too soft, the kind of tone a man uses when he's scared of being overheard. I couldn't hear much, only a few words carried through the doorway. "Yeah, same time as last week. Don't worry, she won't question it. Just say the same thing." I froze. Say the same thing? Before I could go closer, he hung up. 5 minutes later, he walked into the kitchen cheerfully, wrapped his arms around me, and said, "Work wants me in early tomorrow, same as last Tuesday." Same as last Tuesday. My chest tightened, because last Tuesday, he told me something completely different. He said his meeting was canceled and he came home early with takeout. I looked at him and said, "I thought you said last Tuesday's meeting didn't happen." He blinked, just for a second, then gave that relaxed, fake smile he always used to smooth things over. "Oh, babe, you misheard. I said it ended early, not that it was canceled." I felt cold inside, because he'd said canceled, clear as day. I remember because he complained about how his company wasted time organizing useless meetings, but he stared at me like I was the problem, like I misunderstood, like my memory was unreliable. He placed a hand on my shoulder and added softly, "You know how your mind mixes details when you're stressed?" There it was, the line he used every time something didn't add up, every time I caught an inconsistency, every time a detail slipped out of place. He blamed my memory, not his story. He kissed my forehead, smiled warmly, and went upstairs. But this time, I didn't swallow the lie. Because everything he said on that phone call, the tone, the timing, the secrecy, was proof that he wasn't reassuring me. He was managing me, and he'd made one fatal mistake. He forgot the exact words he told me, a memory slip that would trap him later. Caleb was loved by everyone. Co-workers adored him. Neighbors waved every morning. My family constantly said, "You're lucky. He's such a stable man." He was stable, true, but stable like a locked door. Stable like someone with a routine so rehearsed it felt staged. He was polite, soft-spoken, always patient. But patience isn't always kindness. Sometimes patience is a strategy. Caleb never yelled. He never cursed. He never slammed doors. No, he was smarter than that. He used calmness the way others use anger. If I questioned him, just a simple question, he'd sigh lightly and say things like, "I think you're remembering it differently. You're tired, love. You're reading too much into this. You worry too easily." He spoke gently, so I felt guilty for doubting him. He reframed everything so his version always sounded more reasonable than mine. And for years, I thought I was forgetful. I thought I overanalyzed things. I thought I misheard tiny details because I was busy or distracted. But that night, when his story didn't match the phone call, it felt like stepping out of a fog. I replayed old moments. The time he said he'd never been to a certain cafe but a receipt showed up in his coat. The time he claimed his phone died but I saw the battery percentage when he handed it to me. The time he said he stayed late at work but traffic cameras showed his car in a different part of town. Little inconsistencies. Small things I let slide because he always had a calm explanation. But now those explanations felt rehearsed, like lines from a script. I realized something chilling. Caleb didn't rely on lies. He relied on my silence, my willingness to accept his tone over my instinct, my habit of trusting his confidence over my doubts, my desire to avoid conflict. He shaped my reality slowly, quietly, consistently. And that's when it hit me. He wasn't scared of lying. He was scared of me paying attention. And this time, I was paying attention. After that phone call slip, I started watching him. Not obsessively, not suspiciously, just observing. And within days, I found a pattern, a rhythm to his lies. Caleb had a system. Every Tuesday and Friday, he worked late. But every Tuesday and Friday, his cologne was a little stronger, his hair was neater, his shirt buttons were different than the ones he left home with. His mood was oddly lighter. But here's what really got me. His alibis were always identical. Same phrasing, same tone, same order of explanations, almost like he practiced them. Then I started checking small details, receipts in pockets, phone calendar entries, search history autofills, random notes on his desk. None of them matched what he told me. One note said, 7 p.m., same booth. Another read, remember, said delayed meeting. A third, phone off, important. Important for who? And why turn the phone off during a meeting? I wasn't sure what he was hiding yet. Another woman, a secret habit, a second life. But the lies weren't accidental. They were choreographed. Then one night I overheard him in the study, whispering. I told her she misheard again. No, she bought it. Yes, same excuse. My stomach dropped. Again. He said, again. I backed away silently and went upstairs. I didn't sleep. Not because I was heartbroken. No, because I was furious at myself for tolerating so many contradictions. For months, maybe years, Caleb built two separate timelines, the one he lived and the one he fed me. And he relied on one thing: keep them aligned. His voice, soft, comforting, convincing. But once I knew the trick, it no longer worked. And if I wanted the truth, I needed evidence he couldn't twist. So I installed a location tracker synced to the family car account, a smart camera alert outside our garage, a cloud backup for shared devices, and a security filter that copied his deleted messages. I wasn't spying. I was uncovering the life he tried so hard to curate around me. And what I found was far worse than I expected. Because Caleb wasn't just lying occasionally. He was living a performance so polished it terrified me. But every performer slips eventually, and when he slipped again, I was ready. The truth came out unexpectedly. It was a Sunday morning. Caleb showered early, dressed nicer than usual, and said, I'm heading to the office. Big project due. I smiled and said, want me to pack you lunch? He paused for one beat. Too short for most people to notice, but long enough for me to catch. No. They're bringing food in today. I nodded. He left, and the moment the door closed, my phone buzzed. Car location. Parked at Lakeside Cafe. The cafe he claimed he'd never liked. The cafe I once suggested visiting, and he said, not my thing, too noisy. Except now he was there at 9:17 a.m. I drove slowly, parked across the street, and watched. 10 minutes later, a woman approached his table. She smiled. He stood up to hug her. She touched his wrist as she sat down. I zoomed in with my phone camera. Then I froze, because I recognized her. She wasn't a random woman. She wasn't a coworker. She was Amelia, Caleb's difficult colleague, the one he constantly complained about, apparently not so difficult. I filmed them laughing, leaning close, sharing a plate. But then, the moment that sealed everything. Caleb reached for her hand and said, loud enough for my phone to record, it's better if she thinks she misheard again. She always does. He said it, out loud, confident, casual. That was it. That was the sentence that trapped him. Not the flirting, not the lies, not the meetings, not the secrecy. It was his arrogance, his belief that he could rewrite my memory forever, his belief that he could control the narrative, his belief that he could gaslight me into blindness. He thought he was untouchable. He thought I'd never see the truth. But he said the one thing he should never have said within recording distance. She thinks she misheard again. Again. Again meant it was a pattern. Again meant strategy. Again meant intent. He had built a cage made of soft words, but that one sentence was the hammer that shattered all of it. I didn't confront him right away. Men like Caleb thrive on immediate confrontation. They twist it, control it, guide it toward confusion. No, I needed a silence he couldn't manipulate. So I prepared. Step 1, back up all recordings. Step 2, save all screenshots. Step 3, track all meetings, dates, and locations. Step 4, contact Amelia privately. You'd think she'd defend herself. She didn't. She apologized instantly. Amelia had believed his lies, too. He told her, "We're basically separated. I'm only waiting for her to stop being emotional so things don't escalate." He weaponized the exact same line against 2 women, so I invited Amelia for coffee. Then I called his sister, the one he always tried to impress, then his mother, the one he pretended to be perfect for, then his best friend, the one who thought Caleb was incapable of wrongdoing. They all agreed to meet on Friday evening. Location? Lakeside Cafe. The same booth, same time, same place he used for his lies. When he arrived, box of pastries in hand, expecting lunch with the guys, he walked in and froze, because at the table sat his mother, his sister, his best friend, Amelia, and me. He blinked rapidly. His posture stiffened. His hand tightened around the pastry box. "Maya." "What's happening?" he whispered. I slid my phone across the table. "Play the first video," I said. He pressed play. There he was, hugging Amelia, holding her hand, laughing. Then his voice filled the cafe. "It's better if she thinks she misheard again. She always does." His mother gasped. His sister covered her mouth. His best friend whispered, "Dude, what the hell?" Caleb swallowed hard. That's not what it looks like." I cut him off. "No, that sentence, your own words, is exactly what it looks like." He opened his palms helplessly. "Maya, please, you're twisting what?" I asked. Then I pressed play on the second clip. His face crumpled. Because this time, there was no tone that could save him, no calm explanation, no gentle dismissal. His own words had caged him completely. Caleb's voice trembled. "Maya, let's talk privately." "No," I said. "We're done talking privately. That's how you controlled everything." He looked around, desperate for someone to defend him. No one did. His mother whispered, "How could you talk about her like that?" His sister snapped, "You made her think she was losing her memory." Amelia added softly, "He said the same things to me." His best friend shook his head. "I trusted you, man." Caleb's lip quivered. The first real emotion I'd seen in years. He tried again. "I only lied because I didn't want to hurt anyone." I laughed, a quiet, cold laugh. "You didn't lie to protect us. You lied to protect your image." He reached for my hand. I pulled it away. "Caleb, I questioned my sanity because of you. I questioned my memory. I questioned myself. All because you needed me to doubt the truth." He whispered, "I'll change. Just give me a chance." I slid divorce papers onto the table. "This is your chance. To sign." He stared at them like they were burning his skin. "Maya, please, don't ruin my life." I met his eyes. "You ruined your own life. With your own words, your own lies, your own arrogance." The cafe was silent. Even the servers paused. Caleb finally lowered his head. "I'm sorry," he whispered. But it was too late. Sorry couldn't erase years of manipulation. Sorry couldn't rebuild my confidence. Sorry couldn't undo the recording that exposed him. I stood up. "You taught me to doubt everything I heard, but you forgot one thing." I leaned close. "Recordings don't miss here." Then I walked out, leaving him staring at the evidence he never imagined I'd collect. Leaving Caleb didn't break me. It restored me. I slept better than I had in years. I breathed without a knot in my chest. I smiled genuinely for the first time in forever. My family supported me. His family apologized. Amelia and I even stayed in touch, both of us rebuilding after the lies he fed us. Caleb tried texting. long paragraphs, voice notes, explaining, begging. But I didn't respond. He had spent years asking me to deny my reality. I refused to give him access to it anymore. I went to therapy. I strengthened my boundaries. I learned to trust myself again. And I realized something important. I wasn't angry that he lied. I was angry that he expected me to never question it. And that expectation was the beginning of his downfall. When people talk about manipulation, they imagine screaming matches, broken plates, open cruelty. But the most dangerous manipulation is quiet. It's soft, warm, reassuring. It's not like that. You misheard. You mix things up. You're remembering wrong. I said something else. Those sentences seem harmless until they become the script someone uses to rewrite your entire reality. Caleb didn't underestimate my intelligence. He underestimated my awareness. He underestimated my instinct, my memory, my ability to connect dots, my strength to walk away. And the truth is simple. The moment you question the script, the entire performance collapses. His lies didn't trap me. His own words trapped him. Because no matter how calm the tone, no matter how smooth the delivery, the truth always finds a microphone. And when it does, even the quietest sentence can expose the loudest lie.